We're going to go step by step on how to remove a recently reporting negative item. The item in this case that we're going to address in this video is a charge-off. The client or the person, his name is Joe Jason. He was notified by his credit monitoring service that a charge-off has recently started reporting on his credit report. And the charge-off is from Bank of America. You're going to get all 4 credit reports. And you say 4, yes, you need your Experian, Equifax, TransUnion, and Innovus. We're going to discuss Innovus in a separate video, but you do need all of those. Once you have those reports, you are going to review and see if all the credit bureaus are reporting the same information in regards to this Bank of America. He reviewed all 4 credit reports, Innovus, Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion, and they're all stating that this account has indeed been charged off and reported to each credit bureau. So, the first step before you start any disputes is to place a security freeze on your secondary credit bureau reports like LexisNexis, ARS, and Clarity, and there are a few more. Once you place that security freeze, before you start anything else, you're going to dispute handwritten, or you can type up the letter, and you're going to send a dispute disputing all old addresses, misspellings of name, and any incorrect personal information. Once you submit that dispute via mail, you're going to also do it by the Consumer Finance Protection Bureau website and get the report numbers. And within 2 weeks, you're going to follow up via the phone with each of the credit bureaus to verify that information has been removed. All your old personal information, old employers, misspellings of names, old addresses, old telephone numbers. Once that is removed, now you're going to move into the credit repair process. Since it's a recently reporting negative item, I always recommend using a handwritten letter, because what you want to do is to make sure the credit bureaus do not follow consumer law. The Fair Credit Reporting Act requires them to actually contact the data furnisher, get the information directly from them, either via email, written, or phone, provide the method of verification they use to verify that this account is reporting correctly, and give you that information in a written response. You are not looking for that. The reason being, if they don't do that, any item, whether it's yours and reporting accurately, can be permanently deleted. Hear me, understand? It can be permanently deleted. So, since it's a recently reporting item, you do not want to really have the credit bureaus notify Bank of America, because Bank of America wants its money, so they are going to send in all that information if they are notified. So the best way is to send a handwritten letter. And this handwritten letter you're going to send to all 4 bureaus. But it says you get the report number, you put it in your letter. Your letter should have your name, date of birth, your social, and your physical address and where you receive mail. This letter should be enclosed with a front and back copy of your driver's license, your social security card, and your most current utility bill. But the utility bill cannot be your phone bill, your cell phone. It needs to be your cable, gas, electric, water. Now, you're going to enclose all that. And the dispute letter needs to be simple, because remember, the goal is to get them to violate your consumer rights. So this letter says, the Bank of America Visa that's shown as charged off is reporting incorrectly. Please remove. I've enclosed a copy of my driver's license, utility bill, social security card, and I want the investigation results provided to me in written, meaning I want a letter back from you with the results and how did you investigate. You always want to put at the bottom, please provide written response to my investigation request. The reason you want to do that, it places the onus on the credit bureaus and you increase the chances of them violating your consumer rights so you can get the item deleted. If you do not specify that, Experian and TransUnion are notorious for sending an email. You don't want that because you may be thinking, hey, they never responded to me, and the email is in your spam folder. They responded to you at the last minute at midnight on the 30th day. You didn't see it, it went to spam, but since they provided the information, you can't say they violated your consumer rights. So use a handwritten letter. You're going to send that letter certified mail. 2 days after it has been received, because you'll be notified through the tracking information, you want to give them a phone call. When you call Experian, TransUnion, and Equifax, request in the prompts a Spanish speaker. Why? That way you'll go directly to someone who can assist you. You'll skip all over the little phone menu because Experian and TransUnion prefer that you respond online with one of their AI bots or an online agent. You want to speak to an individual. Once that person is on the telephone, you're going to ask for their name, their ID number, and the next question you're going to ask is, hey, did you get a copy of my driver's license, my social security card, and my utility bill? They say yes. You're going to ask, hey, is there any other information you need to verify my identity? They're going to say no. You're going to take the notes. You're next going to ask them, how long will it take before I have a written response to my investigation request? They give you that date, you document it. Now, I'm going to take you through the next step. Within 30 days, Experian responds. This is their letter. Mr. Jason, thank you for contacting Experian. We have completed our investigation. The disputed item, the results are outlined below. They give the bank name, Bank of America, account number, and then it says status verified. Jump up and down. That is exactly what you want because they violated your consumer rights, but you're not done yet. How did they violate your consumer rights? They did not tell you how it was verified. They didn't give you any documentation showing it was verified. They told you it was verified. So under the Fair Credit Reporting Act, they have to provide that information, method of verification. And they have to show you how they've done it. So it needs to be there. So you're going to send another handwritten letter, and this time it's going to be stronger. It's going to say, hey, I got the results stating that it was verified. I did not have this account. This is not my account. Please investigate again. 30 days later, they're going to respond. And this is actually their response. The item has been re-verified. This is from Experian and will remain on your credit report. This is 60 days, and this is the perfect response that you were looking for from the credit bureau. Now, the next step you're going to do is, now you're going to have a professionally typed letter, but it's not going to have any USC codes in there, and it's not going to do any of that. I am writing formally to dispute the inaccurate and incomplete information on my Experian credit report. You give the credit report number and you give the agent name and ID that you originally spoke to, stating, hey, this person stated that I would have a complete investigation and you put the date they stated. I never got that investigation because you didn't. All you got was a letter stating it was verified. You're going to send that letter to Experian. You're going to send it certified also. You're also going to submit a Consumer Financial Protection Bureau complaint. Once you submit it, it's going to say, I am writing to demand the removal of the inaccurate charge-off account from my credit report with Experian. I have sent 2 investigation requests. Neither Experian nor Bank of America complied with the legal obligations under the Fair Credit Reporting Act and provided me the method of verification. I spoke, you give the agent's name and ID number. And it's been beyond 45 days because in 2 dispute letters, meaning it was 60 days, they have violated your consumer rights. So now you had a CFPB involved. But here is where you're going to use USC code 15 USC 1681 this is where you're going to use it. Office of the Comptroller of the Currency, OCC.gov. You're going to mail this certified. You're going to have the Experian report number, the CFPB report number, and you're going to state, hey, Bank of America Visa has been reported. Here's the account number, is reflecting charge off under the Fair Credit Reporting Act, specifically 15 USC 1681 S-2B parentheses. A furnisher of the information, Bank of America has duty to conduct a thorough investigation, which they failed to do. I request the OCC investigate this matter and compel Bank of America to comply with federal law. Now, you sent it to the CFPB and to the Office of the Comptroller of the Currency, which very few people realize. Now, after 90 days, Experian responds and they state, this Bank of America has been permanently deleted from your credit report. Permanently deleted. And you'll get those letters from the other 2 credit bureaus because you have baited them into not complying with the Fair Credit Reporting Act. That's how you get a charge off, a late payment. You get it removed if it's a recently reporting, use a handwritten letter. And we'll go into detail. Make sure you follow, save, and share. And if you're ready to get all the information to address your credit report, click the link in the bio. Thank you.